starts right now.
This morning, police make an arrest in a double murder case. Up next, what Jourdanton and Pleasanton police say appears to be the motive so far.
Plus, the situation involving 7 children stranded in a cable car over a ravine finally ends. Why it took 15 hours for them to be rescued.
We did get showers and storms across a large swath of our area yesterday, thanks to Harold. This morning, clouds and a ton of humidity. Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday. It's August 23rd.
Thanks for joining us. We hope you enjoyed the rain yesterday. I know I saw a lot of it. Did you?
I saw off and on throughout the day very scattered showers, which I think was a part of the forecast.
Yes, and in fact, I was driving like from downtown up north, and it was just almost pouring, Mike.
Yeah,
there were
in
some downpours.
Yeah, and I'm closer to downtown, and boy, it was coming down, especially in the evening hours, kind of the north side of Bexar County. Now, officially at the airport, it was 43/100ths of an inch, so 4/10ths of an inch of rain. We forecast about a 1/4 inch, so right there. Some folks picked up a whole bunch more than that. So, you know what? I'll take the humidity this morning. Given the fact it's from all the rain that we had yesterday. So this is okay today. We still have a couple of leftover showers around the area this morning. And like Mark was talking about, there's all those clouds out there. You can just about cut the humidity with a knife. This is what it looks like on Authority radar as of right now. We still have a few lingering showers around the area. A few of these over here in Medina County, right there around Sabinal. Even a couple of decent downpours. And you got some pretty good rain, especially heading out 90, Sabinal, Uvalde, yesterday, and then in and around a little bit closer into San Antonio, we've got a few of these showers. There it looks like right about 90 and 410, and on the far northwest side of Bexar County, and then a few more again are developing down here and coming in along the coast. So this is kind of the little tail end, if you will, of Harold, because that's well off to the northwest of us. Temperature right now stands at 79 degrees. These numbers don't look that much different than the past few mornings, but these numbers, wow, we are well up in mid and upper 70s. One point I saw a dew point on here of 79, still 78 at Castroville as of right now. I mean, this is just tropical kind of air. But again, it's all because of the rain that we had yesterday and the moisture in the ground. So this is okay for today. As far as the allergens, mold is on the low side. I can imagine that this number is really going to be jumping up when the updated count comes out later on this morning. It is a yellow conservation day with CPS Energy. Of course, scan the QR code. Find out more information about that. And this morning we are going to be staying pretty steady. Plenty of humidity. 1 or 2 of those little showers here or there, primarily to the west and to the southwest. You know, just a scattered one here and there. And then 98 for a high temperature today. Now, yesterday, of course, we only stayed at 91. We hit that early in the afternoon, and then rain moved on in here. Very humid today, so it's going to feel much hotter than that. And still a leftover shower or 2. Just 1 or 2 of them is possible. It is going to be back to the triple digits, but that does include another shower or 2 here or there. We'll talk about that. Closer look at the weekend forecast coming up in just a couple of minutes. Steph, Mark.
Thank you, Mike. There was an arrest in a double murder in Atascosa County. Jourdanton police identified 21-year-old Samuel Ponce as a suspect in the deadly shootings on Monday morning. Now, we are expecting updates on the investigation for both Jourdanton police and Pleasanton police later today. Investigators say that Ponce shot 23-year-old Jorge Erosa in Jourdanton just before 2 a.m. And 25 minutes later, police say that he shot 18-year-old Ross Cruz Jr. in Pleasanton. And Jourdanton police say the motive appears to be drug-related. They arrested Ponce on weapons on possession charges earlier this week during that traffic stop. He's now being held on a $2 million bond for the murder charges.
An elementary school student fired a gun inside a Seguin school bus yesterday, and this morning police are trying to figure out how it happened. Seguin police say the student pulled the trigger as the bus was entering the parking lot at Jefferson Elementary. The gun was fired into the back of a seat. Thankfully, a metal plate stopped that bullet from hurting anyone. Police say the student probably won't face charges, but the same cannot be said for the student's mother.
We're exploring those options, so it'll be based basically on the facts of the case that as we uncover them, and of course the elements of the various statutes that may be applicable.
That student will remain off campus as Seguin police continue their investigation. Well, now to an update on a story we told you about yesterday right here on GMSA. A dramatic rescue of children trapped high above a ravine in Pakistan inside a cable car.
The rescue played out on live TV for several hours. And as ABC's Allison Kosick reports, cameras captured the tense moments when the people aboard were finally brought to safety.
It was a heart-stopping rescue in midair, more than 600 feet above a ravine in northwest Pakistan. 6 children and 2 adults trapped in this cable car after a line snapped, leaving them dangling from a single cable. The cable car transports students to school every day, a lifeline in that mountainous region with few roads. It took crews 3 hours to stage the delicate rescue effort. Here, one child is seen swinging out from the car, hoisted up by a safety line to a military helicopter hovering above. But crews feared the rotors from the rescue chopper could destabilize the cable car, and as the hours went by and darkness set in, they needed a new strategy. 2 daring responders climbed out onto the cable to set up a makeshift rescue zip line. The operation extending into the night until finally the last of those trapped were brought down to the ground, safe after 16 long, harrowing hours. This boy saying, "We were very scared. The first car was shaking. Then helicopters came and we gained some confidence." Meanwhile, those 2 brave rescuers are now being hailed heroes across Pakistan. By the grace of Allah, all of them are fine, he said. There are regular complaints that the cable car system is not properly maintained, so there are new calls for safety improvements. But without it, those kids would have a 2-hour drive to school. That cable car cuts it to 4 minutes. Allison Cossack, ABC News, New York.
Tonight is the first Republican primary debate of the 2024 presidential race. It will be in Milwaukee. Former President Trump will not participate in the debate. The Republican National Committee said it would feature 8 other top candidates who qualified for the event. The former president still dominates the field, though. His indictments in 4 separate criminal cases are actually boosting his popularity among Republican voters. Trump has said there is little political upside for him to debate his rivals at this time.
A federal judge in Austin is asking the state of Texas and the Department of Justice for written closing arguments by the end of the week so he can make a decision on the border buoys floating along the Rio Grande. Texas placed the buoys in the river last month as part of Operation Lone Star. The buoys raised humanitarian and diplomatic concerns, and the DOJ sued Texas and wants them removed. The judge says he would like to make a decision soon after he gets those written arguments later this week.
There could soon be an end to the ongoing writer and actors strike. The Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers have released their latest proposal to the Writers Guild of America. In the new package, it addresses all of the issues the Guild has identified as its highest priorities. There'll be an increase in wages, which would be the highest increase in the WGA in 35 years, along with an increase in residual pay. The package also features a first-of-its-kind offer for writers, especially concerning areas of artificial intelligence, data transparency, and minimum staffing. Right now, 438, 78 degrees.
And how about some free money? Well, up next, we're going to tell you how it could be yours if you make your claim before the deadline.
Steph, I don't know about you, but the roads were pretty dry when I came in this morning.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Not like yesterday at all.
Right, so that's good. Take that off the table as far as traffic troubles this morning here in town. We'll talk to Stephen coming up in our 5 o'clock hour.
And looking out there with live cam, we may have some leftover humidity, but as Mike says, it was well worth it for all that nice rain we got yesterday. We'll be right back.
If you're a Facebook user, time's running out if you want your piece of a multi-million-dollar legal settlement.
So 12 on your sides, Marilyn Morris explains how class action lawsuits over root beer, dry shampoo, and Facebook can put a little money in your pocket.
Facebook users will like this. They have until Friday to claim a piece of a $725 million privacy settlement. Meta settled a class action lawsuit alleging it sold customer data to third parties. If you had a Facebook account at any point between May 2007 and last December, you're eligible to file a claim. How much you'll get is undetermined. Used dry shampoo. The makers of Batiste settled a lawsuit over claims the shampoos contain benzene, a cancer-causing chemical. If you bought the products before May 30th, you can claim up to $10 in cash or vouchers. The deadline is before November 16th. bought A&W root beer or cream soda in the past 7 years, you could claim about $5, more with proof of purchase. The company settled a false advertising claim alleging the label said made with aged vanilla, but it was artificial. That deadline is October 19th. It's important to point out that none of these companies is admitting it did anything wrong. We have links to file claims on our website. Granted, it's not a lot of money, but it is free. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
And the time now is 4:42 and 78 degrees for now.
How ongoing theft is proving to be a big problem for some major U.S. retailers.
And welcome back. It's 4:45. Dick's Sporting Goods and other retailers are seeing a significant drop in profits due to increasingly serious retail theft. ABC's Rebecca Jarvis has the details in today's GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, the retail theft ripple effect. Dick's Sporting Goods blaming an increasingly serious theft problem at its stores for a 23% drop in its profits. The retailer joining a growing list of companies, including Target, Home Depot, TJ Maxx, and Ulta, recently sounding the alarm on organized retail crime.
It's extremely difficult to quantify the degree of the problem because not a lot of information is shared.
From this flash mob stealing nearly $100,000 worth of items at a California mall earlier this month, to big box retailers like Home Depot, getting hit especially hard time and time again, investigating hundreds of cases and losing billions of dollars. So what does this mean for the prices of your favorite products? It's all coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Rebecca Jarvis, ABC News, New York.
A quick check of the roads with TransGuide. Looking at I-10 at Frio, things seemed pretty good on my drive-in this morning. No, big, I would say, flooded spots or anything like that. Roads seemed pretty dry after all that rain we got yesterday.
No accidents and just one area of construction. 35 north at Top Wine, but only affecting one lane.
Right. We were just talking in the commercial. It's like, yesterday was just like, wow. That sound.
The sensory aspect of it.
The smell, everything.
Yes, so. It was nice to hear the thunder, smell the rain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very exciting.
And like I was talking about at the top of the show, yes, it is extremely humid. Yes, this kind of shows it pure bliss with being out in that rain. A lot of folks were enjoying that yesterday. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, it is. It's really humid out there this morning, but in this case, I think we'll take it just because we had the rain. And as far as the forecast yesterday, we were talking about how the majority of it was going to be down to the south, and that ended up being the situation. But then we had that nice swath that moved through right along 10 and 90 later on in the day. And as far as some of the estimates from radar, authority radar there, you can see about 3 inches. There were a couple of heavier spots here and there down to the west and to the southwest. A little bit closer in, you can see over there just to the south of Hondo, about 1.5 inches of rain. Northern Atascosa County, inch, a little more than that. Out at the airport, officially picked up 4,300, so just shy of 1/2 inch of rain, and kind of cut San Antonio in half. And right north of downtown, it was coming down pretty good. This was that line that moved through right about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the evening, and then not quite as much further on down to in the southern portion of San Antonio. But everybody did get something, obviously not a drought buster, but hey, it was fantastic. We still have a few leftover showers right now, again, over there in Medina County, and even a couple of decent downpours there. This is sliding just to the east of Concan and Hondo. You're getting a couple of showers, and as well as on the west side of town right now, 1 or 2 of these little sprinkly showers have been moving on through. So a couple of damp spots on the roads, and then more further on down there to the south and to the southeast. Lots of clouds hanging around here, and as we were talking about, dew point temperatures are way up there, mid and upper 70s. This is tropical kind of air. These numbers are up a good 5, 6, even 14 degrees higher for the dew point in Uvalde than what it was at this time yesterday. And the problem is, it's not really going to be dropping down that much. So we are going to be keeping a lot of humidity around even in the afternoon. Now, temperatures won't be outrageously high. We're not going to be in triple-digit range, but when you have this much humidity, it doesn't take much to make it feel a whole lot hotter. 10% chance for, again, one or two of those showers here or there. We're going to make it up to 90 today at noon, and then still a stray shower can't be ruled out later on today. 98 high temperature, normal's 96, so in the vicinity of it, but it will feel like it's well up into the hundreds because of all that humidity. Computer model has these showers around here this morning, one or two of them scattered about, and then sort of a lull in the action, and still a couple of them here or there, especially off to the west later on this afternoon. Now, as far as the forecast today, we are going to be seeing, like I said, temperatures that make it up to 98, one or two showers around here this morning, a couple of them, a decent shower here or there, and then a stray one later on this afternoon. Back to 102 tomorrow, with plenty of sunshine. Then we're going to be in that pattern over the weekend, still hot, but we'll be in a situation where there's going to be a stray shower or two trying to pop up over the weekend and even going into the first part of next week. So that's good news. Still, like I said, still going to be pretty hot out there in those triple digits, but that's encouraging.
Yes, it is. We'll take the cloud cover or anything those chances will bring along with it.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you, Mike.
It's 450, 78 degrees.
Super Mario is still the top movie of the year so far, but up next, how close the Barbie movie is from sending Mario to second place.
Your pick three numbers, 534, Fireball 7, Daily 4, 0065, Fireball 3.
Cash 5, 4, 6, 16, 26, 35. And your Mega Millions, 1, 12, 26, 36, 50, Mega Ball 7, Mega Plier 2. Good luck.
.454, Barbie is close to setting another record.
For our latest what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Jason Nathanson.
What do I have to do? You have to go to the real world.
Another major milestone for Barbie today. If estimates hold, the film will pass the Super Mario Bros. Movie as the top-earning film in North America this year, at just over $574 million and counting. Worldwide, Mario's still the champ by about $70 million. Billy McFarland is back. The Fyre Festival founder, who was sentenced to 6 years in prison for defrauding his investors, says he has a new plan for Fyre Festival 2. He's out of prison, by the way, posting on social media that FF2 will happen in the Caribbean, but there's no set location or lineup, just a target date for the end of next year. And his website claims the first 100 tickets, offered at $500 each, have sold out.
I've been thinking of nothing but you.
Carrie and the gang sticking around a little longer. A season 3 of the Sex and the City spinoff, and Just Like That, just announced. Max renewing the streaming series ahead of tomorrow's season 2 finale. And we have a date for the return of Frasier, the revival hitting Paramount Plus October 12th. And CBS will air the first 2 episodes 5 days later. And Grammy-nominated rapper Lil Yachty is 26 today. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
5 till 5, 78 degrees.
The first Republican primary debate of the 2024 presidential race kicks off tonight. Up next, what's expected from each candidate and how the event will proceed without former President Donald Trump.
New law that requires an armed security officer on every Texas school campus goes into effect September 1st. Up next, why San Antonio ISD is trying to opt out.
Ahead on GMSA at 6, the summer heat isn't the only thing people have to worry about. Well, why people are getting sick with allergies and what you can do about it.
And we'll see how traffic is looking in the next 5 minutes. Stephen Cavazos is here. We'll talk to him live coming up.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
8 Republican presidential hopefuls are set for their first debate tonight in Milwaukee without frontrunner Donald Trump. I'm ABC's Justin Finch with a preview from Washington.
And looking out there with live cam this morning, things are dry compared to yesterday where it's 78 degrees, but What a wonderful feeling it was driving through the rain yesterday.
Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, August 23rd, and our standard greeting here at the office this morning is you get rain? You get rain? You get rain?
I think we all did, which is nice.
Quite a few of us did.
Yeah, most everybody in the whole viewing area got rain in some form or another. Some folks got a whole bunch, like on the south side of San Antonio. You didn't get quite as much, but at least it was a little bit of something out there. And this morning, yes, for the most part, roads are dry. We got a couple little showers left over, but boy, the humidity is up there, although it's because of the rain. So we'll just kind of grin and bear it this morning. 79 degrees out there at the airport. Dew point is at 76, that bottom number. That's really, really up there. That's wet towel when you walk outside, if you will. We will make it up to 98 later on today. 96 is the normal high, so yes, we'll be just a little bit above that. Obviously no triple digits here in town, but with the humidity, it is going to be feeling a whole lot hotter than that. Now, yesterday's aquifer reading in the morning, it had dropped down 0.4 of a foot. We did get some in the recharge zone, not as much, but hopefully that goes up a little bit and folks won't have to water their lawns. And mold is on the low side, but this was yesterday's reading. The updated count is going to be coming out later on this morning, and I have a strange feeling that's going to be really, really high as far as the mold count is concerned. All right, we do have a few more showers hanging around here this morning, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. As you can see, just a couple of them, especially off to the west and the southwest. And these are still continuing to, whoops, let me go back to that picture. These are still continuing. I'll continue to go back here, and there we go. These are continuing to work their way off to the northwest. A few of them right there around Sabinal, a couple of them around Hondo, and they've got a pretty good batch right here that's now moving into southwestern Atascosa County. This will also continue to work its way off to the northwest, going at about 20 miles per hour. This is going to move in toward Pearsall. We're not seeing any lightning strikes from this at all. There may be one or two of those. And again, this is not going to be as big of a deal as yesterday, but still there will be just a couple of these showers. And there have been a few that have moved through town as well. So especially on the west side of town, there may be a couple of damp spots on the roads this morning. Temperatures, when you factor in the humidity, feels like 83 in town, 88 at Castroville. It's extremely humid there at Castroville. Stinson feels like 86 degrees. And this morning, of course, very humid, couple of showers hanging around here. Then partly cloudy skies, 98, like I said, and really humid with still a shower or two hanging around this morning. Then once we get into tomorrow, mostly sunny skies. It is going to be back to the triple-digit temperatures, and that's going to be the case through the weekend. But over the weekend, we will still have one or two of those showers hanging around here. So nice to see we got some subtle changes overall, despite the fact we're still seeing her going to chalk up more triple-digit temperatures. Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, good morning, Mr. Gavassos. What's going on?
Well, Mike, we are seeing some flashing lights out here at 35 at St. Mary's. But remember, this is that same shot we've showed you for the last few weeks, really almost 2 months now. We do have that closure there at 35 at Brooklyn. And with these flashing lights, that could be some good news. Crews may be either preparing to reopen that or just getting more of those repairs done. Remember, that closure stems from a fire that happened a few months ago where we saw some damage under the water drainage system there. So this is actually something that we haven't seen before. Some crews out there this early in the morning. Again, I'll talk to our friends at TransGuide to find out exactly when this is what's going on here and whether or not we'll see those lanes reopen. But just be on the lookout. Remember, that closure is still right now in place at 35 southbound at Brooklyn Avenue. But other than that, our morning is off to a pretty quiet start. A lot of that rain that came in here into the Alamo City did wash away a lot of that dirt and oil. So, of course, the roads were a little wet and slippery yesterday, but right now it looks like a lot of that has dried out. Taking a look at travel times, we'll actually have that coming up a little bit later on. Forgot to add that to the sequence here, but we'll get one last look here at 35 at St. Mary's. I'll step out of the studio, talk to our friends at TransGuide, and I'll have an update on those travel times if your destination is the Alamo City. Mark.
Interesting. Thank you very much, Stephen. One driver caused a whole lot of damage. San Antonio police have arrested the man they say was behind the wheel of an SUV when it rolled over and hit several parked cars.
Trina Weber is live on Jones Avenue near North St. Mary's, where those car owners are waking up to bad news.
Yeah, bad news indeed. A lot of damage here. Take a look at this car right here behind me. Now, I had a chance to talk to the man who owns this car. He says this was his only transportation. He doesn't know what he's going to do now. But it's not just him. Take a look at what we've got down the street. I counted 4 cars with damage. This one also hit from behind. Now, what happened is this first car was hit by the suspect's car and then rolled into these and just created sort of a domino effect here down the street. Now, the man who owns this car right here was telling me he had memories. He had trophies from when he coached children's basketball, all destroyed in the back of this car. These two owners, it seems, have not found out about the bad news just yet because they have notes on the windshield from their cars. Let me give you a look at the video so you can see exactly the big mess that was out here earlier. That SUV rolled over before 3:30 this morning. Police were able to catch up with the driver. Now, some of the car owners say that that driver tried to run. We have not verified that with the police, but they did arrest someone who they say they suspect was intoxicated, and they're going to check that person for those signs and then charge him appropriately. But again, some car owners here just trying to figure out what their next move is going to be because they woke up to this bad news and a lot of damage here. And again, one of these owners telling me he doesn't know what he's going to do. That's his only transportation, and he actually just started a new job yesterday, now trying to figure out how to get to work today. Reporting live near downtown, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. Some local families are now left without a place of their own after a fire spread by wind damaged 4 buildings. It happened near Buena Vista Street and South Pinto yesterday afternoon. One of those victims say that she was homeless just 6 months ago and was starting to get on her feet. San Antonio Fire officials telling us that the fire started in a vacant building, but that winds from Tropical Storm Harold spread fire to all directions. Crews were able to get the fire under control in about an hour. The owner says she smelled the smoke and ran out of her home with her family.
Nothing survived. No apartments. And we lost everything. We were homeless for a couple of months, but then we found out about Heaven for Hope. We went there and we stayed there and they helped us there.
The official cause of fire is under investigation. However, officials say they are dealing with vagrancy there.
San Antonio ISD Board has unanimously voted to file for an exemption from that state law that requires armed security officers on every Texas campus. The law goes into effect for every Texas school coming up on September 1st. The board members say a lack of funding and personnel is what's preventing them from staffing every campus with an armed officer. The district's police chief says his team of 58 officers is spread thin and the force is short about 10 officers, but that still wouldn't be enough for every campus.
Northeast ISD is now accepting applications to fill the seat in single-member District 2 following the passing of trustee Terry Williams. The Board of Trustees will interview applicants at a future board meeting. To be considered, you have to live in single-member District 2 now and for the last 6 months. You also can't be convicted of a felony and be registered to vote. If you are interested, you have until Monday, August 28th at 5 p.m. to apply.
Happening today, Baptist Health System is hosting a blood drive challenge to encourage everyone to donate.
We rely on donors. There's no other way to get blood.
All staff and employees within the Baptist Health System will be competing to see which of the 6 hospitals can donate the most. As the staff participate, they are encouraging you to donate as well, especially since the South Texas Blood and Tissue Center says we are at a 2-day supply for blood in our area.
All blood types are needed at all times, for us to be able to maintain adequate supply for all the patients that come through the Baptist Health System.
Blood Drive Challenge will begin at 9:30 this morning at all 6 Baptist Hospital locations, and anyone's encouraged to donate at that time or any time through Friday. If you're interested in donating blood or want to learn how to, you can do so by heading to our website at ksat.com. Now to tonight's first 2024 Republican presidential debate. 8 candidates vying for the party's nomination set to go head-to-head this evening up in Milwaukee.
Former Texas Congressman Will Hurd is among those who will not be on the debate stage. In a report in the Washington Post, Hurd blasted the lack of transparency around the RNC's debate requirements, saying the committee's polling standards are arbitrary and lack consistency. Meanwhile, as ABC's Justin Finch reports, frontrunner former President Trump will not be there either and is planning to counter-program the debate.
In Wisconsin's largest city, final preps for tonight's Republican presidential debate. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and businessman Vivek Ramaswamy are set to take center stage. Ramaswamy on CNN.
Many people in this country didn't even know who I was 6 months ago, so this is a good opportunity for me to introduce myself to the country.
The party's inaugural debate of the 2024 campaign cycle pressing ahead without Donald Trump.
Donald Trump is the leader, and if you want to be number one, you have to take on the person who is number one.
The former president justifying his absence with recent polling showing he's the clear frontrunner by wide margins.
I've made no secret of the fact that I want him on that debate stage.
The 8 candidates attending had to meet the Republican National Committee's polling and donor requirements. Former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, who has qualified, on conservative channel Newsmax, slamming Trump's decision to skip tonight's debate.
Because he didn't have the guts or the respect to show up on that stage and defend his record and advocate for the future of America.
People will make a decision based on the future of their family, not what's going on in the legal entanglements of the former president.
In Milwaukee, some voters are looking for a Trump alternative.
I think he's got to hang it up. I really do. He's not gonna win if he gets the nomination.
Sources familiar tell ABC News that Trump pre-taped an interview with former Fox host Tucker Carlson that is set to stream online as the debate airs live on Fox. Though Trump will be absent tonight, his campaign says he will have top advisors and surrogates in Milwaukee representing him in the debate spin room, thanks to invitations from some media outlets. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
Time now, 5:10 and 78 degrees for now.
Up next, which of the top major online retailers are now facing criticism for allowing sellers to list recalled child products?
And are you ready for this year's KSAT Pigskin Classic? It's this weekend, and one superfan is coming all the way from Houston to see his team play in the Alamodome. Why he says it's worth the trip.
And outside with live cam, kind of swampy out there this morning because of all the rain we had in the area. Some more than others, but about on track with what was forecast. Some morning clouds over the airport. You're watching GMSA. The second annual KSAT Pigskin Classic just days away, and the hype and buzz are growing.
And not just here locally, the anticipation for the high school football action is spreading all the way to I-10 Houston. And that's where a Somerset superfan lives now. So the distance didn't stop him from getting sweet tickets for Saturday's game. Douglas Kurtz tells us his family has been in and around Somerset for over 100 years. And Kurtz was a part of the 1971-1972 team that brought Somerset a district title. Now, Sonny's son Coy will be calling the plays for the Bulldogs during this year's KSAT Pigskin Classic.
One of my managers, his son, and he went to Judson, so he was telling me about last year how excited it was.
Now, all 3 games last year were decided by 3 points or less. This year, 8 teams will play in 4 games. We have all the information you need right now on our website at KSAT.com.
I wish it was Saturday already. And you look for us out there. The almost the entire GMSA team will be there for that game 1 on Saturday, Southside versus Somerset. If you want to see Mike, just show up anytime. He's there all weekend.
Yes.
All right, 5:15, 78 degrees.
Up next, a first look at Netflix's new game that puts you in the Love is Blind pods.
Plus, why TikTok users searching for specific videos will begin to see some extra content in their search results.
Here's why you should switch from Google to DuckDuckGo on all your devices. DuckDuckGo comes with a built-in search engine like Google, but it's private and doesn't spy on your searches. And DuckDuckGo lets you browse like Chrome, but it blocks cookies and creepy ads that follow you around from Google and other companies. And there's no catch. It's free. We make money from ads, but they don't follow you around. Join the millions of people taking back their privacy by downloading DuckDuckGo on all your devices today.
It's nothing.
Sounds like something.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, unsystemic diarrhea.
Pepto-Bismol coats and soothes for fast relief when you need it most.
$120 for the night, please.
$95 for the night, please.
Wait, what?
If you use Trivago, Trivago will compare hotel prices from hundreds of websites worldwide, so you can often find a better deal for your hotel room. Maybe you should try Trivago next time. Hotel Trivago.
5:19.
Hey, welcome back. We are getting ready for a KSAT Pigskin Classic.
Yeah.
That's this Saturday.
Friday and Saturday.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
That's
Friday.
right.
In
We
that
keep
event.
forgetting. Well, the bigger day is Saturday, but of course, yes, Friday evening. And we have a new mascot.
Yes.
That we were just talking
Not me.
about.
Not me. But his name is Mike.
His name is Mike, but
Not Mike Osterhage.
Different spelling.
different.
Is it Mike or Mikey?
I think it's just Mike. M-I-C.
Okay.
Yeah.
Short, you're short for microphone, so as far as what it looks
You'll
like.
be seeing and hearing more about that in the coming days.
Yeah, it's on our social media page, KSAT Instagram. But of course, you are the OG Mike.
Yeah.
Right. Hey,
More OG than you think.
Well, there's something that we've been talking about. That Brooklyn exit there has been closed for more than 2 months. I stepped out of the studio, talked to our friends at TransGuide. Looks like we're finally starting to see some of those repairs that have been long needed. Remember, this is a closure that has been in place for more than 2 months. Yeah, it's more than 2 months. I was actually rereading the article that we posted. This stems from a trash fire that occurred under the overpass, which led to damage and, of course, that closure that you've seen out there for quite a while. We've been keeping a very close eye on it, but this is the first time, I think, in the morning that we've seen crews out there this early. So be on the lookout. We're hoping that this will lead to some good news and to some of those areas reopening. But check it out. We're already starting to see a little bit of a backup out there. And that is because those crews have other closures that are in place. Because we're seeing them out there, our friends at TransGuide want us to let you know, be on the lookout for these closures. I-37 southbound to I-35 northbound and US 281 southbound to I-35 northbound. Now, those are closed due to the repairs that are being made along Brooklyn Avenue. So just watch out as crews are out there this morning, and hopefully we'll see that exit reopen. A lot of people have been waiting to see that. Wide look at the map, no delays here just yet. I told you travel times, no delays here either. 23 minutes from Bernie along I-10 eastbound, 27 along 281 southbound if you are heading in from Bulverde, and a 24-minute drive time if you are traveling in from New Braunfels. But one last look here at the work that's being done at 35 at St. Mary's. You can scan this QR code, read all about the article that we have posted from 2 months ago. But Mike, we're hoping that we'll finally see this area reopen. I know we've been talking about it for 2 months now. I can't believe that, but hopefully this will lead to some good news.
Yeah, and then it's like, we wonder what the delay was and getting them out there.
Got to find out.
At least it looks like progress. Thank you very much, sir. All right, it was nice to see. We got a lot of pictures of some rain gauges, and look at that, 1.25 inches. Right around just outside of Seguin. Beautiful out there, that great rain that we had yesterday. And there is some more out there as of right now. There's this little swath from Lakey back down to the southeast, and actually a pretty good cell is developing here in southwestern Atascosa County. A couple of lightning strikes associated with that as well. And this thing's moving along at a fairly good clip, and it's dumping some decent amounts of rain as well. This is some of the estimates coming in here from Authority Radar, but some of these spots we're looking at about 2/3 of an inch per hour, maybe a little bit more than that in some places. So decent downpour here and there. And then also, as far as the movement is concerned, it's not sitting in one spot, which is kind of a good thing. You had a lot of rain around here yesterday, but this is working its way off to the northwest at, let's put it right there, and this is going at a good about 40 to 45 miles per hour. So that's going to get it into Pearsall right about in the next 20 minutes or so. You'll start to see it. You've got a little bit of rain there in Pearsall already, but I was just looking at this one batch right there and those couple of thunderstorms. So that will continue to work its way, like I said, off to the northwest. And we've got kind of a stream of moisture coming in here still on the tail end of Harold. And so that's what's going to continue to keep a couple of showers around throughout the day. Obviously plenty of clouds, and the humidity is sky high this morning. But that's okay, because it's because of the rain that we had yesterday. Temperatures will stay in the upper 70s. That little bit of a chance, 1 or 2 of those showers here and there. 90 at noon. And then still a couple of showers are going to be possible later on today, 98 high temperature. Again, here's the leftovers of Harold well off to the northwest of us, but it continues to pull that moisture in here, which is why computer models still pick up a couple of these showers. Not many, just one or two of them. They'll kind of be leaning toward the west as that continues to kind of take everything and push it off to the west throughout the rest of today. Then tomorrow, we're going to be seeing just a plain old hot sunny day. We stay just shy of 100 today, although it will definitely feel like it because the humidity is going to be sticking around throughout the day. 102 tomorrow, and yeah, pretty hot weekend with at least a chance for a couple of showers here or there. And it's going to be interesting next week, midweek, whether there's a big trough developing up around the Great Lakes, how much of a push that has.
Okay.
In our direction to at least get us south of 100. So.
And think how long it's been since we've had to remind people to dump any standing water to keep the mosquitoes away.
Good point. Yep.
That's true. We're dealing with all that, but that's okay. We'll take it.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you, Mike.
524, 79 degrees.
Let's look at your winning lotto numbers. Pick 3, 534, Fireball 7, Daily 4, 0065, Fireball 3.
Cash 5 numbers 4, 6, 16, 26, 35. Mega Millions sets up to $52 million. 112, 26, 36, 50. Mega Ball 7, Mega Plier 2.
In today's Tech Bites, Congress focuses on recalled products for kids. House lawmakers sent letters to Facebook, Amazon, eBay, and other sites about items still being sold on the sites that are linked to more than 100 infant deaths. One product was recalled 4 years ago. And get ready for more ads on TikTok. Users searching for a specific video will begin seeing sponsored content in the search results. The user will have to click on the ad in order to scroll through the results and then watch the desired video. And Netflix is launching a new mobile game to match its Love is Blind reality series. And just like the dating show, it puts you in a pod with an unseen suitor to engage in relationship drama. The interactive game is due out next month to coincide with the Love is Blind premiere. More Netflix games are coming soon. Love is all fun and games, unless, of course, you're not on the same level. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Haha.
Yeah. 528, 78 degrees.
The federal organization that is supposed to help people in disaster situations is running out of money. Up next, what's causing the FEMA disaster fund to run dry.
Ready to buy a new house? It will now cost you a median price of $406,000. Up next, why home prices are going back up after falling for just about 5 months.
And what's for lunch? How about a new nacho cheese chicken sandwich or cheeseburger? Up next, what's on the newest creation from Wendy's?
Making headlines this morning in the middle of deadly wildfires and tropical downpours. Some are worried that funding for the agency that helps people during these tough times is running out.
We know that we have enough money to continue to support the ongoing life-saving efforts.
Up next, what lawmakers are doing now to make sure those funds stay available for FEMA.
And here at home, a little humid out there after all the rain we had. But for me, it was nice to carry an umbrella, not to block the sun, but for the rain. That was really nice yesterday.
Let that soak in for a second.
Yeah.
All the rain we had. Amazing verbiage this morning. Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday, the 23rd.
Thanks for joining us. Yeah, we hope you enjoyed all that rain yesterday. It was funny. Earlier in the morning, I talked to some people that were still doubting. I'm like, no, it's gonna happen.
In some places, it was definitely coming down in buckets, and we had that one little swath that moved through kind of the northern portion of the city yesterday about dinner time or so. I wonder if it's going to change the shade of brown of my lawn, or it's just dry out there because it just sucked it all up. But yeah, it was gorgeous to see, and yes, I think. Steph kind of put a positive spin on it. Not a little bit extra humidity. It's very humid out there, but that's all because of all the rain that we had. So we'll take it. And we do still have a little bit more rain around the area. This swath down here, and this is actually kind of almost looking like it's not as wide an aerial coverage. We still have a few lightning strikes associated with this batch, which is just scooching right, kind of splitting the uprights between Charlotte and Pearsall. Although Charlotte, you're going to be getting some of this rain here in the next 15 minutes. minutes or so, and then a little bit further up in portions of the hill country, just to the north of Hondo. Sabinal, you've been getting a few more showers here. It looks like you're in store for another round of some of those showers. And then a little bit closer into town, we've seen a couple of sprinkles, but doesn't look like anything. Let's kind of zoom in here. See, yeah, maybe a couple little sprinkles are showing up right here in town, just about up there on 281 and just north of downtown. Everything's sliding off to the kind of north to northwest. So still a few showers hanging around here this morning. Low amount of mold. This was from yesterday's reading. I have a feeling this number is going to be a whole lot higher when the updated count comes out later on this morning. We're in the upper 70s right now. I'm going to stay there. A couple of those little leftover showers hanging around here this morning. We make it up to 90 at noon and then 98 high temperature today. So we'll stay just shy of 100 and a couple of extra clouds, and the humidity is going to keep the actual air temperature down. But with that humidity, it's going to feel a whole lot hotter than that. Still one or two leftover showers later on this morning. We've got kind of the stream of moisture coming in here from the Gulf of Mexico. So that's why one or two of those. Cut off the rain tomorrow, but we'll still have a few showers, at least scattered one or two of them as we head on into the weekend starting on Friday, but also some pretty hot temperatures. All the details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen, I know we had some flashing lights earlier this morning. Yep. Still out there?
Still out there, Mike, but this is good news because we've seen that closure there at 35 southbound at Brooklyn Avenue for quite some time, and that's where we are seeing those flashing lights. It's really the first time that we've seen it this early in the morning. Crews are out there following a fire that caused some damage to the underpass there, or the overpass. But remember, that fire sparked more than 2 months ago, so that closure has been in place for quite a while. And I know a lot of drivers out there, including some of us here at KSAT, are eager to see that reopen. So hopefully we will see that happen pretty soon. But remember, we still have crews out there this early in the morning, so be on the lookout there at the upper level of 35 southbound at Brooklyn Avenue. We did see a little bit of a buildup earlier this morning, but looks like that's improved. But in the meantime, there are other closures in place as the maintenance work continues out there. Not too far from there, I-37 southbound to I-35 northbound and US 281 southbound to I-35 northbound are closed as crews continue those maintenance repairs. So again, just watch out if you have to travel through the area. It could cause some delays for you this early in the morning. Thankfully, no delays here. It's still pretty green from Seguin with 28 minutes to the Alamo City along I-10 westbound, 33 along 87 northbound if you are heading in from Lavernia this early in the morning. And for our friends in Floresville, should be about a 28-minute commute if you're trying to get here to the Alamo City. But we're going to continue to keep a close eye on the roadways here, and our friends at TransGuide have several cameras where we have those closures in place, like this one at 35 at 37. You see that ramp has been blocked off. We'll watch it closely, and if that exit does reopen, or that exit ramp at Brooklyn, we'll be sure to let you know. Guys.
Thank you, Stephen. FEMA's disaster fund is running out of money in a year that's setting records for weather disasters.
Between the deadly fires in Hawaii and the aftermath of Hillary and Harold is having to shell out a lot of money. However, as CNN's Reed Binion reports, lawmakers in Washington are still being optimistic about providing aid to those that need it the most.
We know that we have enough money to continue to support the ongoing life-saving efforts.
FEMA Administrator Deanne Criswell says the agency's disaster fund is running out of money. Amid growing concern the funding could lapse if Congress doesn't pass a spending bill, a FEMA official told CNN.
As we do our analysis and we make our reports to Congress monthly, we take into account situations just like this so we can make sure that we always have enough funding.
However, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell has indicated he expects Congress will approve more funding for FEMA.
We'll be authorizing in the same bill, in all likelihood, considerable increase for FEMA.
It comes as the agency pushes forward with the response to Maui's devastating wildfires in a year that's setting records for billion-dollar weather disasters before the peak of the Atlantic hurricane season has even arrived, and as hurricane and tropical storm activity is already causing damage. Tropical Depression Harold plowing through Texas after making landfall as a tropical storm Tuesday morning. The storm pummeling the state with high winds, heavy rain, flooding, and tornado warnings as it pushes towards Mexico. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Authorities in Hawaii are pleading with the relatives of those missing in the Maui wildfires to provide DNA samples. Right now, more than 1,000 people are still unaccounted for after wildfires destroyed the historic seaside community of Lahaina. So far, DNA samples have only been collected from about 100 families. That's lower than what's been seen in other disasters. This morning, there are 115 confirmed deaths. So far, the estimated cost of damage caused by the wildfires on Maui is between $4 and $6 billion.
Some January 6th committee transcripts regarding the riots at the U.S. Capitol are reportedly being redacted for security purposes. The transcripts of 4 individuals who testified to the House Select Committee that investigated the riots are still reportedly under review. The White House special counsel to the president says the White House expects to complete the review soon.
The NBA has fined Philadelphia 76ers guard James Harden $100,000 for what it's calling public trade demands. The league said the fine was for public comments made by Harden back on August 14th and 17th, indicating he would not perform the services called for under his contract unless traded to another team. According to the release, the league's investigation confirmed Harden believes the Sixers would not accommodate his request to be traded. The Players Union says it disagrees with the league's decision to discipline Harden, saying it does not believe his comments violated the rules.
Time now is 5:39 and 79 degrees for now.
Here's a loaded question. How about a loaded nacho cheeseburger for breakfast or lunch? Up next, when you can get Wendy's newest cheesy creation.
And home prices are going back up again. Up next, how much you're going to have to save now just to own an average home.
Outside with live cam. So we had rain in the area yesterday, and you know what that means for today with some of the ground still wet. Very, very humid this morning as we take a live look at waking up on your Wednesday morning with GMSA.
Welcome back. It's 5:43 in your morning consumer headlines. Home prices are rising, and that comes atop of mortgage rates that have topped 7%. The National Association of Realtors says July's housing figures reverse a 5-month trend of falling home prices. The median existing home price is now at $406,000. That's nearly 2% higher from a year ago. Analysts say there are not many homes on the market, and that is driving up prices. About 1 million homes are up for sale, and that's a 14.6% drop from a year ago.
Dick's Sporting Goods, of which we have a handful here in San Antonio, says theft is impacting its overall corporate bottom line. The retailer reports a nearly 4% rise in sales for the second quarter, but a 23% drop in profit. Other retailers have also complained about a rise in shoplifting and organized sprees of large-scale theft. Analysts say retail theft can become more prevalent when there's inflation and mixed signals on the health of the economy. Wendy's unleashing new cheesy items to its menu. The fast food chain has added a loaded nacho cheeseburger and chicken sandwich. The dishes come with either a beef patty or a piece of chicken, topped with melted cheese, roasted poblano queso, spicy corn, tortilla strips, and spicy chipotle sauce. All of that is sandwiched between jalapeno cheddar buns. Wendy's has also added queso fries, which is also topped with roasted poblano queso and cheddar cheese. Fast food franchises have been fighting for chicken sandwich market share since at least 2019. That's when Popeyes challenged Chick-fil-A with that spicy chicken sandwich. Remember all that?
Yeah.
With McDonald's, KFC, and Burger King soon following suit. Don't forget Chick-fil-A's got that new sandwich, I think, next week with the pimento cheese on it.
It'll be interesting when it pops up on the app.
We're ready. 5:45, 79 degrees.
Quick check of the roads with TransGuide. This shot looking over at Loop 1604 at Petrenko Road. Things look okay over there. We do have flashing lights on other sides of town, and we're going to be checking in with our Stephen Cavazos about it very soon.
5:48.
Looks like there's problems off of I-35. Let's check in with Stephen Cavazos.
Well, this could be a problem, but it's progress, actually, because we're seeing the work that's taking place at 35 southbound at Brooklyn Avenue, but it's led to other closures out there as well. Now, remember, we've seen those barricades along Brooklyn Avenue at the upper level for quite some time, and that is because there was an overnight fire. I shouldn't say overnight anymore because that fire happened 2 months ago, but it caused some serious damage there to the overpass, and that's why we have crews out there. But they've had to shut down other areas of the highway to make sure that they can address those concerns and hopefully get that area reopened. Now remember, this is at the upper level of 35 southbound at Brooklyn, but we're seeing also those closures along I-37 southbound to I-35 northbound and to 281 southbound to I-35 northbound. We did send a push notification to your KSAT mobile app, so make sure you have that downloaded, notifications turned on. We're getting closer to 6 a.m., which means we're closer to seeing a lot more of that congestion creep in on the map as usual, and we want you to be on the lookout for any construction that may cause some delays for your commute. Don't forget, FM 1535 here, Northwest Military Highway. We have curb and sidewalk installation. It's been current since Monday, but we are going to watch this wrap up on Friday, August 25th. But the work starts pretty early, 7 in the morning to 6 in the evening, alternating lane closures in both directions from Loop 1604 to Huebner Road. But I know some of us are pretty happy about seeing the progress out there along 35. This is just one of the closures that we're seeing take place as crews are working to reopen those lanes. But yeah, 2 months, guys. And this does stem from a trash fire that occurred under the overpass, caused some damage, led to a closure. 2 months now, but we're seeing some crews out there, which is some, again, progress. I think a lot of people are just eager to see that reopen.
The first significant sign of progress.
Yes, exactly. I mean, we've had our eyes on this, since it happened, and we've really not seen crews out there. Not saying that they haven't been out there, but we have not seen crews out there this early in the morning, so it's good news.
Yeah.
Doesn't it kind of like an oxymoron when he says under the overpass? Kind of like saying
under the overpass? It is.
Like saying jumbo shrimp. I snicker every time you say that.
Let me have some coffee. And
I love it. It works.
Who was looking out the window yesterday at all the beautiful rain?
Oh,
Mike Osage was?
Yeah. I mean,
and so was Steve.
It was between looking at the radar on the KSAT weather app or looking out the window, okay, am I going to get more? Am I going to see more rain? And this guy was absolutely loving it. Everybody was loving it. Just, your nose pressed up against the window, looking at all that beautiful rain out there yesterday. Thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture. We do still have a little more. We've had a few and still have a few little sprinkly showers here in town. As you can see, just here on the near northwest side, over almost toward Jefferson High School, going up 10, and nothing, a couple of them back down here to the southwest as well. And then as we go further up to the northwest, we've got a couple little sprinkly showers right near Lee High School as well. Maybe even a few that have been there up around, say 281 just north of the airport. Elsewhere, we do have even a couple of more showers. And just to kind of keep in mind that, yes, we've had these little light sprinkles off and on this morning, so we're still going to have some damp roads hanging around here this morning. Further off to the west, we've got this line of rain from just south of Devine heading in towards Sabinal. You've been getting a few off and on showers around Sabinal all morning long, and this whole little stream goes back down here to the southeast into the Gulf of Mexico, and this is the very tail end because everything left over from Harold is well off to the northwest, but it's still dragging in some of this moisture, which is why we'll still have 1 or 2 showers hanging around here this morning. So initializing the computer models are with some of these showers hanging around here. And that's going to be the case throughout the morning. We'll see maybe a lull in the action and then a couple of more left over later on this afternoon, primarily, of course, off to the west. Now, as far as why we're seeing this, the high, which is just up to the north, yes, still dominating things, but we're getting the kind of the bottom side of that counterclock or that clockwise rotation around there. That's what allowed that system to move in. The high kind of scooches in a little closer tomorrow, so pretty much cuts off anything as far as rain. But then as we get into Friday, it's going to sort of move off to the west a little bit more, and that's going to open us up for at least a few disturbances to kind of move on in here. And so that's why, even though it's going to dominate things with high temperatures in the hundreds again, starting tomorrow in through the weekend, we'll have 1 or 2 showers out there. Then as we go into next week, and notice how the big trough develops up there around the Great Lakes, the question is, how much of a push is this going to have to kind of move that out of here? There's obviously this is going to be trying to pull some fronts on through here. Question is, do we get enough of a front, if you will, to get us down into the 90s and get rid of the hundreds? Obviously, it's still a week away, but it's encouraging to see kind of an overall weather pattern change, hopefully leaning a little more toward something that looks more like fall, but not until then. I should say until then, we are going to be back up into triple digits. Not today, 98 degrees, but 103s over the weekend, at least a shower or 2. So Come on, big trough in the Great Lakes.
All right. Well, at least lower triple digits over the weekend and maybe cloud cover.
Yeah, it's still going to be hot, and with this moisture in the ground, that's adding to the humidity. But at least we've got some rain out there, so I love that.
Nice break. Thank you, Mike.
5:54, 79 degrees.
Look at your winning lotto numbers. Pick 3, 5, 3, 4, Fireball 7. Daily 4, 0, 0, 6, 5, Fireball 3.
Cash 5 numbers 4, 6, 16, 26, 35. And your Mega Millions 1, 12, 26, 36, 50. Mega Ball 7, Mega Plier 2. Good luck.
Good morning. Coming up, we're live in Georgia as former President Trump prepares to surrender in Atlanta. The countdown to the first GOP debate with a look at the candidates taking the stage. Also this morning, the growing concern about retail theft from one major retail chain as other stores sound the alarm. And Shark Tank's Barbara Corcoran joins us live. That's coming up right here on GMA.
Hey, quick reminder to get your tickets for this year's KSAT Pigskin Classic. They're on sale right now. Scan this QR code to see all our ticket options. It kicks off Friday the 25th, followed by the triple header on Saturday the 26th. Coming up on GMSA, the largest school district in San Antonio officially starts classes Monday. How Northside ISD is planning to keep kids safe this year. And up next, wind from Tropical Storm Harold spread a fire to several neighboring homes. How the families there are dealing with the damage. And traffic, our only incident right now this morning is some final activity. Construction is now underway. It would appear 35 in Brooklyn. That exit's been closed for some time now.